Okay, I'm just gonna go. Oh, never mind. We're good to go. Okay. I'm gonna connect here. Cool. Yeah, we're good to go. Good to see you guys.
Hey, good to
Yeah,
see
good
you.
to see
Thanks
you.
for having us.
How are
Yeah,
you
heck
doing?
yeah. Good. How about you guys?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
We just trained this morning. Finished
Yeah.
training.
How's that going with your ankle and everything?
Oh, it's going well, better than I expected, faster than I thought. Because a second degree, like almost third degree ankle sprain, should usually takes 4 to 6 weeks to go back to normal, and I'm doing almost normal life now. So
Nice.
just running is the only missing piece.
Yeah. How about you, Elena?
Yeah, pretty good for me. So I stopped actually running after World Championship because after Hyrox, California, I got some needle in my hamstring in the groin. But obviously I had worse, so I continued pushing, which obviously made things worse. So afterwards, I took pretty much a month of running, which I believe actually was even better for me. I'm just back running like really good. Yeah. Yeah, working strength training. So yeah, I'll do my first pro race in Chicago finally.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, well, he already did a pro race. She started
Well, I
in
started in Mexico,
in
so I
Mexico.
trained for Mexico. It was in April, but the problem that my stomach, it's like really delicate. So I flew to Mexico a week in advance because Mexico City is, I think, almost 10,000 of elevation, which is like a pretty decent amount for someone that lives in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I flew 1 week in advance to acclimate. The problem was, yeah, I acclimated in terms of oxygen levels, but my stomach eating the Mexican food was really, really bad. So
Yeah.
before the race, I was 3 days without being able to eat, just go to the, like doing anything, just going to the restroom. So it was really bad. So I still tried to do the race, but as you can imagine, yeah, in the pool I was like my like my I was everything was blurry, and yeah, it was like sweating cold, which is always like a bad thing. So I was like, okay, my parents and Pelayo are in Spain. I don't think that they want to receive like something that Helena is in the hospital, even that is just some like something small, because that will be the thing. It's not like, yeah, something that you wanna hear when you are kilometers away. I was more thinking about this is just silly. So I just my like DNF, and yeah.
But she was able to make it into the start line. So kudos for her.
Yeah.
And
How was
she passed the sled push and the sled pull.
Yeah.
So it was pretty decent.
And then was like, okay.
yeah, that's a bummer when that happens. It's I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it, right? With the stomach issues and nutrition and everything.
Yeah, and they told me like, because like people there, I mean, I don't know, like you have like Mexican people are amazing, like really like friendly, even like trying to help you no matter like what they can do. So some of them, they went to the pharmacy, they gave me like these super strong pills that you stop going to the restroom, which was nice because at least I was able to run until the pool without the need to stop to go to the restroom. The problem is when you are like that, you're even like that, you stop going to the restroom, your body is not taking any minerals, anything. It's just bad. So at the end, obviously, it's not like an ideal race preparation or anything. So my coach said, like, you just need to go back to Chicago and being in the sea level, and you're gonna recover like in 1 day. And that's what happened. I changed my flight, and as soon as I arrived to Chicago, next day I was fine.
Wow.
And he said that because he trained some like elite or like he has some like professional level. He said that it happens often when people do like training camps in altitude and they are sick for any reason. They just go back to sea level, wait like 2-3 days, back to altitude training.
Wow. Could it have anything to do with like just stress levels or the your body just not being used to it altogether and being upset, even just a mental thing and affecting your stomach? Yeah,
it could be like totally. The truth is, I've been in Mexico for vacation also, and it happened the same. The thing is, when you're on vacation, obviously you don't really care. I mean, once I was in an all-inclusive, like just tanning, so even if I'm like a little sick, I didn't really care. But yeah, the truth is, my stomach. It's if I do it again, instead of like going 1 week in advance, I'll be just 1 day in advance. That way, okay, I'm not ready for the altitude. I just need to change how I'm pacing. But yeah, my food is my like I might
good to go.
Yeah.
What about did they have coffee down there? Did you drink any coffee while you were there?
So
I think she couldn't drink coffee because she got sick the first day, so she couldn't take
anything.
anything.
I was thinking about it because that's something that I like when we went to Vienna. Just that was pretty much what we did. Like when he was racing the first major or like second major in Vienna. The third major. We didn't really check anything in terms of like touristic places, just coffee places were like really, really good. But in Mexico, I remember one, but it was after. Yeah, I think I was so sick that not even, that's true. Not even, I didn't even want to drink coffee. And that's usually some yes.
This is a bad indicator. If she refuses
coffee,
it's not a good sign.
Yeah.
And she's really sick. I would be more worried if she said no to a coffee than anything else.
That's when you know you're in trouble, huh?
Yes, exactly. And regarding this coffee thing, the thing is that now we have such an amazing coffee at home, so we don't feel like we need to go for coffee other places. It's like the bar is very high, I have to say. So that's something that even though we love going for coffee, we need to go to very specific places because overall it's not the same as when you take your coffee here at home.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. I didn't know that you guys were this into coffee until I sent you the coffee, and then you put that picture up of all your bags that you guys have tried. And then I was really excited and kind of honestly just not nervous, but I was excited to hear your feedback since you guys have tried so many, and you guys are people, even when they ask me, well, how long were you into coffee? Are you really into coffee? And I thought that I liked coffee. I thought I was into coffee. And then when I started roasting and getting to know all the different processes and regions and varietals, and then you really get to experience more and see what coffee really does have to offer. And,
but I think you are in another level. So
yes.
We are not like, that's actually something that, like, for us, we really enjoy like trying different coffees or like checking in like good coffee shops,
like blind testing. We like doing blind testing at home. Just we take 3-4 different coffees, just pour the coffee and then try to guess which one is each, or trying to identify which one is better, or that's one of our hobbies.
No, but it was when we started with like Resolute coffee that we, because I'm moving it down because we
can show you what we have here in our feed. But basically every coffee that we try, I save the case for our records. So I have all the Resolute coffees.
But don't mix it up.
Because I won't mix them because we have sorted them by. So we have the 8 different Resolute coffee we already tried, sorted by which one we like the most and which one is better for like a regular black coffee or with latte with milk. Mm-hmm. So we have rated both in this direction. Honestly, our opinion is our opinion. Everybody has a different one. So that's
No, even between us and
even between us,
some of them.
there's differences. There's significant differences in some of the perceptions. But
Yeah.
we enjoy doing it. We love
And we are like, that's what I said, like we are learning, because it was new for at least for me, it was like new about like the wash. And then when he was, oh, this is honey, and I was like, no, I'm asking about like how it is, because it is, and he's like, no, it says honey. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a kind of like process, because I mean, honey, you assume is like just coffee with honey. And I'm like, so that's why, and that all of this started with Resolute Coffee. Like we really enjoy.
Yeah. I think you helped us to put context on how the processes go, because we had no idea. So basically, we were tested dozens of coffees, but we didn't have the percent what's washed, what's honey, what different processes, how it affects, how it can affect the flavor and how it looks. So definitely, it's not just about the coffee in this case. For you having such a huge variety of coffees that you offer, it's great, because I highly recommend to just grab many samples from many different from Resolute Coffee and try, because I think it's the most valuable thing of that. Trying to find by yourself which is the one you like the most.
Yeah, and like you said, everybody has a different preference. So that's why when we were kind of going back and forth in the beginning, I was trying to figure out which ones you liked consistently, because I know you guys like the Nicaraguan, right? That was one of your.
Yes, exactly. That's the in Nicaragua and the Ethiopia, the honey.
Yeah,
that's
the
the two ones.
That honey, the Ethiopian honey, I was just telling my wife yesterday, I love all of them, but that one, the Ethiopian honey, is probably my favorite all around. You can make a pour over with it, you can make espresso with it, and you can just put it in a coffee pot and it tastes great. That the one from Nicaragua, that one was a super small lot that I had. And I have one more bag that I'm going to send to you guys, and that's it. I can't even get any more.
I have to say, this is different. I find it different. It's strong. It has like a very particular flavor that will surprise you from the first sip. It's the same with our sellers. Don't have like a first impression like it's wow, it's like different.
Yeah,
so this is one of those.
Yeah, even getting into the different processes, and then the different processes from different regions and so on, the different elevations will affect it. It's wild. And so again, just you can kind of narrow it down, but like the anaerobics, Parker Gregory, I sent him some anaerobics, and he was going wild over it. Did I send you guys an Ethiopian anaerobic or
no?
Pacamera? What about Pacamera?
No.
Ethiopian?
No, we have two Ethiopians. None of them. We have the honey.
Well, but this was the second one that we really enjoyed.
And the washed.
But I don't know if it's that one.
Yeah, and we have we have in second place this other Ethiopian as well.
Okay.
The washed one.
Yeah.
And actually, that's the black condor that you mentioned so many times in any other, like in the other.
Black condor is a very solid.
For me, it's like that's an okay, but that's not. Oh, this is amazing!
But this is the coffee you drink. This is the one that tastes like what you expect as a coffee.
Right.
I think it's the most closer to a coffee.
It's like a good coffee, but it doesn't. At least for me, like in my opinion, it doesn't have anything special or any. Yeah.
It's something that people are familiar with, like you said.
Yeah.
That's what I usually say is just a straightforward. You're not going to be disappointed. But when you go from, especially the anaerobics, which I'll send you some of that next also, but you go from the anaerobic, which is all the way on the other end of the spectrum, then to black condor, and then honey's pretty much in the middle. The honeys, the naturals are kind of in the middle of that. But yeah, black condor it just makes people happy, and it's consistent. So
I have to say,
use-
I graded the Black Condor with a 9 in the latte version. So Black Condor with milk is like the perfect coffee.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
like the coffee I would take.
Yeah. Have you ever tried Scratch Labs? Have you ever messed around with that, the nutrition?
Yes, but I was thinking about that's not coffee.
No,
Yes.
no, no.
Yeah.
But they have a horchata recovery mix, and
Yeah.
you can just take a scoop of that and put it in Black Condor with no milk or anything, and it's insane. I'll send you some of that too to try, because
Okay.
we've got that.
Interesting, because I mean it changes a lot what you put on the coffee, either if it's normal regular milk or oat milk. We
Yeah.
personally
Yeah, we only drink.
think that oat milk pairs very good with coffee. We love.
And
oat
also,
milk.
I'm like lactose intolerant, so
Yeah.
obviously I cannot take any like dairy milk.
Okay.
So we have oat milk or almond milk, but usually it's more like oat milk.
So no heavy cream either, then, huh?
No, not at all.
Not for her.
Not for
I
me.
can't.
Yeah,
Yeah, the heavy cream, that's usually heavy. If I put anything in there, the heavy cream, like you said with the Black Condor, it changes that initial hit, that like zing, or I usually say like the fruity or the floral. It almost takes that away and then just brings it right into that smooth coffee taste. And I'm pumped on it. That's why I keep Black Condor. Black Condor is like I don't want to say it's our standard, but it's what we have no matter what, because again, it's just a great starter to, and it's also it's a high quality bean that I get from Colombia through this the importers are called Forest Coffee, and they work with a lot of local farmers in Colombia to bring it together, just to kind of really up the standards for the farms and everything out there, and then making sure that they're getting taken care of. And there's a whole really cool story behind it too. So I'm always going to support that one for sure.
And
Yeah,
regarding your experience, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So,
please.
if you had to rank countries in terms of your preferences, coffee preferences, which is the source of the coffee you like the most?
Oh
Where
man.
do you put? I mean, I know that you probably like one from Nicaragua and then one from Ethiopia, and it's not a clear trend or a clear country which outstands. But
The one, so like Ethiopia, I have 4 different coffees from there. I have all the different processes: anaerobic, washed, honey, and a natural. So, and that was to just see what that, just the whole spectrum, the whole varietals. And then Colombia. So I'd say Colombia and Ethiopia are the 2 countries that I have the most coffees from right now. But then I've never been disappointed in anything from El Salvador. And the one from Nicaragua, that is the first one I've got from there. So I don't know. If I had to pick like I said, if I had to pick a favorite coffee right now, it'd be that Ethiopian honey. But I'm not sure if I would say that overall that's
yeah,
my favorite
that's true.
country. But
we have very good experiences with coffees from Costa Rica.
yeah, I had a pea berry. Have you ever had pea berry?
No.
So pea berry, usually in the coffee cherry, it'll have 2 seeds in it, 2 beans, and a pea berry will only have 1. So then all of the nutrients and all the flavors and everything are concentrated within that 1 bean. So instead of so you get a much like sweeter, and it's another one. It's hard. It's they're just so hard to explain like a taste. But anyways, the flavors in it are so smooth. It comes down to the fact that it is that 1 bean, and it's not like a natural. When the naturals are coming or the honeys are fermenting, sometimes a bean will get more than the other one, or so sometimes it's unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
But with the pea berries, again, oh man, I'm trying to put into words, but it's another one that, whether it's espresso, pour over, or just a pot, it has a super, just a solid chocolatey, nutty flavor that I haven't had with any other one. So I'll get some of that for you guys next. Also, I need to.
Yeah, can you write it down?
And that's only in Costa Rica.
No, there's pea berries from other places, but the one that I've got it twice. That one was from Costa Rica, and yeah, it's just another varietal, and that's all it grows. So they just yeah. Coffee is always one of those things that's hard to explain because some people think of sometimes it's sour, sometimes it's acidic, and then trying to find the right words to put with it. It's hard to explain, and so I've also found that it's better to just send people, like you said, those variety packs, and then go from there and figure it out. But yeah, so I'll get some of that too. I'm gonna write that down. So sorry if you see me looking down, it's because I'm taking
that's
notes.
Great. That's good.
And what I was about to ask, and what about Hawaii? Is there any good, or have you worked with them?
I haven't got anything from Hawaii, and honestly, now that you say that, I've never seen on any of the lists that I've received. They don't even have Hawaii listed on there, so I'll have to look into that. I'll have to see what's going on there too. But yeah, I haven't heard anything. I mean, I know like the Kona coffee and all that, but yeah, I'll look into that one too.
Yeah,
giving you ideas.
No, because we're going to Hawaii and we start checking like some places. So I was wondering if you already like work with some of them or like.
Yeah, we're gonna go on vacation. It's gonna be in Thanksgiving.
In November.
One of the visits we're gonna do is to
coffee
places and just trying to see how they grow it. And
you guys gonna go to like a farm?
Yeah. We're gonna visit, and if, so just in case in any time from now to the date we go, you get in contact with someone there, and you know about a farm that you want to just have information about or want us to check.
Yeah, I will. I'll check that out too.
That's what I said. Like, we didn't really have any knowledge. That's the truth. But like when we went to Costa Rica, we did this last time that we were in North Carolina, and we were with Andres in like a big one.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. We used to go just because we like it. Maybe now knowing a little more about like what it's all behind.
Yeah, it's fun. It makes it fun.
It's great having these labels on here, just showing you which is the process, the region, and the variety, and which are the flavors. This is a good information.
Sometimes we play to know like if it's like in this case lemon juicy and we don't get not even one.
Sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult. I have to say to get exactly the flavors, but when we try to guess, it tastes like wine, like sort of red wine. It was not red wine.
The one that I've got the most notes or flavor out of that's true to the label is the honey, the blueberry. I can. That's the one where you taste it and you're like, okay, there's that. Especially even the aftertaste is more blueberry as well. So that one is fun. Did you guys both come from triathlon?
Yes, but not like he was 12 years and I was 5.
Okay. And then did you guys both race world championships, or how did that go?
She qualified for. There's 2 different major distances in Ironman, 70, which is 70.3 half Ironman and full distance.
I never.
Full Ironman. Yeah. She qualified for the 70.3 World Championships, but she never raced because of the pandemic first, and then some travel issues, and so she ended up postponing it. Myself, I raced always in age group category. So I was an amateur triathlete. So I was training hard all my life. I did my best, and I was just as regular, decent amateur triathlete, but I never made it into the to the pro field. So I raced 70.3 World Championships in 2017. The first time it was in Chattanooga, here in the U.S., in Tennessee. And then I raced in St. George, the Worlds in St. George in 2020. No, sorry, in Nice in 2019. I raced the World Championship in Nice, in France. And then in 2021, I raced in St. George. And then in 2022, I did my first Ironman full distance. After 12 years in triathlon, I raced in Texas. I qualified for Kona, and I raced in the Ironman World Championships in Kona.
Did you guys ever Oceanside? Did you ever come out for Oceanside?
Oh, we never raced that one. It was in my bucket list for a lot of years because I lived in Santa Cruz for 3 years, and which is pretty close. Close. I mean, it's California.
Right.
So and Oceanside sold out every year, and I wanted to race during the pandemic, or when the pandemic came, it was canceled, and then it didn't match with my schedule. But it was in my bucket list. It's one of the biggest races.
Yeah, that was my first one I did. I raced that one.
And it was in the ocean, or it was the one that goes by the harbor?
I did both. I did both. So the first time I did it was in the harbor. And, I think so. The first time I did it was in the harbor, and they had the mass start in the water, swam out to the start line, and then they had another one where it was a what do they call that? Like self-seating, where they send you out like a couple at a time.
Yeah.
Which was a nightmare. I don't know if you guys have ever done those, but that one was a nightmare. And
you mean the self-seating process, or?
Yeah. So my friend and my good friend Chad, we just train and race together and always competing against each other. We were honest about our time. So
that's the problem.
People are not.
Yeah, you feel like under 30 minutes, and then you see people that is like, you almost don't know how to swim.
Yeah, and it's not safe. It's not safe if you start in a way that is faster than your time, because people will pass you no matter how over you.
And
so it's risky.
And the thing that I noticed the most was all the people crashing on the bike. Like they couldn't handle that pressure of people flying around them. That they had started so early.
Yeah.
It was bad, but yeah, I did that. I did Oceanside. So, and then the ocean swim, that one actually wasn't that bad, because once you got out around the break, and then we just swam back into the harbor. Or I just kept not like I was ever a bullet in the water, but I'm more comfortable. And but yeah, that one was always, Oceanside was great. I'm just trying to correlate time, like Hyrox and triathlon. What was for each of you, what was your best 70.3 distance time?
So for me, it was like 4:50 approximately. 4:51.
4 hours 50.
4 hours 50, I believe. Yeah, 4:50.
For me, it's 3:50, 3:55.
3:55. Where was that at?
It was Oregon. It was it was
a little cheating.
It was this one. I had two sub 4 hour. Two times I broke the 4 hours. Once was in Miami, and this one was more fair. But the one I raced in Oregon, the swim was like 5 minutes faster than it should, because it was downstream. And so I swam 4.5 minutes faster than I usually swim. And I would have been close to 4 hours if it would have been a regular swim course.
Well, even that though, even just say 5, I just remember the first year of Oceanside that when I did it, I don't think the men were below 4:10, 4:15. So like a good decade ago, 12 years.
A decade ago was different.
And that's exactly the bikes. So the truth is, the bike make a difference. And obviously we are talking about like bikes right now that they cost like $10,000-$15,000 only the cockpit. So the cockpit of any of the professional and any podium amateur, it's like about $2,000 only the
Yeah.
cockpit. The
Right.
wheels, like the wheels that we have for Pelayo here, that's like $5,000.
Right.
So obviously we just talk about that piece. That's that's time.
Yeah,
what wheels are you racing on?
Sorry?
What wheels are you racing on?
The
MB.
Yeah. Okay. What depth? What size?
It's 80. It's a 7.8. I think it's 88.
I think it was 87
Or
millimeters.
87 millimeters behind and 70 in the front.
Yeah. Those are those wheels. I had a set of the first 8.9s with Chris King hubs on those suckers. And those things were bullets. And like you said,
decent.
Yeah.
And the best thing of the MB is that they are very good in crosswinds, even though they are deep. Crosswinds are very handy. You can manage that crosswinds pretty well, better than other brands that I've tried. So, yeah, I was in love with that with the wheels.
Yeah, super cool brand. They've always been awesome. I've always really liked them.
Yeah, and well, it's not only the bikes; it's also that more people came into triathlon in the last decade, and more.
The training is more specific.
Yeah,
like if you read the books about like how they used to train like 20 years ago, compare about like now, you see that obviously
now the average amateur trains with more science behind than the top triathletes 15 years ago. So it makes a difference.
Yeah. I used to work down in Encinitas, and so a lot of the guys down there were some of the guys that did the first triathlons. And so I was fortunate enough to get to hear all of these old stories about these guys. They would just literally sitting around at a barbecue and then challenging each other. And then that's how triathlon came about.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then getting this, like there's a lot of stuff I think that you can overlap with the old school ways of training. And then it seems to me and I could be wrong, you guys are way more involved in it than I am, but way more experienced at least with the nutrition coming into play, and then recovery, of course, like just not beating the crap out of yourself every day and then trying to perform at a high level. It seems like that, and equipment, of course. But so I guess there's plenty of variables.
Nutrition is the most important piece in long distance, and now athletes are like robots. So you know exactly what to take in which format, and how much and how often, and you go just following a plan. It was not the case like a few years ago, definitely.
Have you? So, and I've heard people make comparisons to the Hyrox, say, time or effort, comparing it to like an Olympic distance triathlon, maybe. Do you guys see anything like that? Do you compare it to anything?
There's a mix. Go ahead.
No, we actually talked about this last week. Talking about like his half marathon time, because I don't know if you also this came because James Kelly did the half marathon, and I was like, that's so weird. His time was really slow.
No, it's not too slow.
Well, I mean,
James
okay.
Says, she said nothing.
Okay, so it was slow.
James is a good friend. No worries.
No, exactly. I mean, and he knows, like, if you compare like a 1:15, he was the best runner in Hyrox in the World Championship.
Right.
So we start there. So the best runner, and he does a 1:15. That's definitely not a good time. What happened when that's like obviously comes like more things. Like one, I don't know, like the running shoes. Obviously, if he raced with the same at Hyrox, we are talking about something different. Like the Alpha Fly will be much better. Like it could give you like 2-3 seconds per kilometer. So that will be one piece versus, for example, when Pelayo races. Like Pelayo, without pretty much training, he did a 1:12. And he was not the fastest in Hyrox. Obviously comes like the strength exercise, the compromise, and all of that. So when we were talking about like how to measure his running versus the half marathon, we start talking about if he races the half marathon with the running shoes, with the Saucony, for example, and he races a half marathon in like a loop like Hyrox with corners, it will be pretty much his time. Like
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah, I would say I would match my half marathon effort level to the Hyrox run effort level. If you, yeah, as she said, if you race a half marathon doing laps around,
Yeah.
because it makes things slower. So Hyrox race pace or running paces are slower than if you run straight, much slower actually. And yeah, so but coming back to the comparison with triathlon, I would say what I feel is that running in Hyrox every single 1 kilometer once you get out of the stations is the closest feeling I had was when I used to race sprint duathlons. So the second run of a sprint duathlon feels very similar in terms of muscular fatigue than getting out of sleds or going out of the bar pits or most of the stations. It's the closest feeling, and then the pace is similar to the half marathon, I would say. That's my impression.
So that a 112 is what is that? A low 5 for miles, or
it's for, what do you mean?
like
112 is 320, 323, 324, which is five lows 5, but I don't know exactly how much. I know in we're checking the chart.
yeah.
We know minutes. We are Europeans. We know minutes per K.
So it's been 8 years in the United States, and we still track kilometers, and
Okay.
we still do Celsius.
I know it's 5, probably 5.
So 5 will be, no, it will be 5, 10, 25, 5. Yeah, it will be like 5.
Well, here,
5.
here, 106, 112, 530.
5:30. Okay. Yeah, I've been trying now, like with bringing up James again. I communicate with him a few times a week. He's been helping me. He's been coaching and everything. So now trying to break everything down into kilometers and kilos and all that. It's like another college course or something. Trying to get going.
I know. Same for us in the other direction.
Yeah.
Right. When you're now training for Hyrox as opposed to triathlon, do you find yourself doing more specific stuff, like how you would have to swim, bike, or run? Do you have dedicated days to like sled? I know you guys do like your row, your skier, or are you doing a bunch of different exercises that are helping to just help everything overall? I hope that makes sense.
We do a bit of everything. We live in specificity in Hyrox. We need to be efficient in the movements, and we never get rid of the specific movements of Hyrox. There's always, every week, we touch most of the stations, but not only because for adaptations. It's also for to be like more efficient in the movement for the technique perspective. So I always said you will learn how to do wall balls by doing wall balls. That's clear. Having a ball in your hands is crucial. It makes the difference. Having the perception of the ball, having a target. So you can train the strength in a different way, but when it comes to a specificity, you need to touch the stations. That's not always, but we try to have a reinforcement or reminder of each of the stations every week. And obviously, when we get closer to the race, we are more specific in terms of high intensity on the stations. And then the other thing is that we are very very specific in the aerobic capacity that we need for Hyrox. Or Hyrox at the end, it's about cleaning lactate. We are lactate cleaners. The person who is able to clean the lactate the fastest and at the fastest speed will win, basically. So we train a lot of developing this skill of cleaning lactate in the runs, in the ski, in the roll, and also compromise strength. And so basically a lot of specificity depending on the time of the moment of the season. We focus more on strength side or on the or higher intensity or a little bit more closer to the race pace, but always touching high intensity levels so that then the muscle will get used to cleaning this lactate.
When you say compromise strength, are you meaning like in strength endurance or going into a?
I was about to answer. So one thing, because I was in a different training program and I checked some others last year, the main difference of like Pelayo methodology and training, I believe, is two. Like he doesn't train, well, he or any of the athletes or myself that we are now in the program, any 2 rep max. So there is no going to the 6 times 5 reps. I would say at least right now minimum is 8, and without less rest. So I saw in previous training even like 3 minutes rest, back squat, 3-minute rest. So that's something that we don't do. And if you check maybe his 1 rep max back squat, it's not even 50% of any of the any of the elites. But then when it goes to the compromise strength or even like endurance strength will be like maybe 50% of the 1 rep max. He's gonna do maybe like 3 times more than anyone else because of that piece, like training.
Basically because you have to get used to cleaning lactate at this intensity, and this is what you have to train for Hyrox specifically. It depends on what you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, if you train for the CrossFit Games, it's totally different. Like you need to do, So it's even for DECA, it will be different.
Have you guys gotten into DECA?
No, I wanted to do the ultra, but I felt that I was not prepared at all with 1 month of no running afterwards. But I wanted to go to Indiana to do the ultra. That sounds like really amazing.
I love racing, but this age, I have to say, when I was younger, I used to race every single weekend.
Yeah,
I have a very limited number of bullets in my pocket, and I have to keep them for for what it matters. And I feel like every race is very energy consuming. I'm just finished mentally and physically very tired. So I need to race just carefully and choose where to go, and that's why we are not doing DECA yet. It doesn't mean that we can do it, but as a training session. But to me, it's difficult to go to a race like, okay, I'm not 100%. I'm gonna just do a training session. It's hard to me. So why we are not? If anytime it aligns with our goals, of course, yes, but
I would say maybe a DECA strong in one of the fitness centers in Chicago. If that fits our schedule, that will be a perfect like training session. Not having the mentality of it's a race; it's like a training session. That will be perfect. But what Pelayo said, if it's like a race, usually it's like so much energy mentally. Like the previous week, like one of the things, like we stopped drinking coffee. Like it's all like 1 week of decaf.
We have to confess one thing. I think we received the first Resolute coffee.
Oh, that's true.
2 weeks before the World Championships, right at the moment where we cut coffee.
Yeah,
it was so painful.
We received the coffee. It was the first time. It was amazing. Like we were like, this coffee is like incredible, because that I think we told you like there was only one coffee before that we like it was free. We bought it in Trader Joe's, this small lot that then we tried to buy it online and it was $1,000.
Damn.
It was like
it was like
something left, but it was just a very
I think they just keep. I don't know. Not in Trader Joe's, in any other store. In Trader Joe's was completely sold out, no more.
Wow.
So that one we love, and then we found this one, and obviously we stopped drinking coffee. Well, like we do decaf, but it's not the same.
I have decaf also, so I can send you some of that too.
That's for a race period. That's
that for
perfect.
race, yeah, exactly. That's
Right.
actually not even for race period only. So yesterday I drank 3 coffees, which is pretty much the normal for me. But I also took one gel of these Hyrox, my protein gels, that was like 250 milligrams of caffeine. So my heart rate was like at 6 p.m. was like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, Pelayo, I believe like tomorrow morning I'm gonna have a decaf. Just keep the decaf ready, because if not, like, just I'm gonna do the first one today is gonna be a decaf, the next one is gonna be a good one. So that's what I did today also.
Without, I don't want to, since you guys are the first I've had this question in my mind coming from triathlon, like racing triathlon, when I've heard, and I'm not trying to get you guys to gossip or anything like that, but one of the things obviously with Hyrox are the different courses and the different times and all of this. Do you think that it will get, so like you said with Oceanside was always sold out.
Yeah.
Arizona for the full Ironman was always sold out, and that was because it was a fast course, and that ended up being the Ironman that I did. But do you think it'll get to a point with Hyrox where people will look for those specific the courses that are fast, and those will be the ones that you'll see selling out, while other ones will be kind of left open and not get as much attention? Or do you guys even, have you felt that much of a difference from course to course?
Yes, so totally. And I think that's something, because I remember at the beginning, at the beginning last year, conversations about like how to standardize, and at the end you cannot do it. Like no matter what you do, like the humidity is gonna be different. Like even one corner can make a difference. Like the 10-kilometer race in Paris is not like, even the pool. We are looking at the Olympics, and the pool, because it doesn't have the depth.
Right.
It's not the same, and
Right.
it doesn't matter. You can just race your race, and that's all. So I think the first is like, there is not gonna be a standardized course. Like that's
Right.
people, like they need to know there are gonna be some courses that's gonna be really slow. Mexico City, like it's gonna be, you are gonna win the race with 1 hour 10, and then there's gonna be courses like Berlin, if it's outdoor, that you're gonna win the race with 55 minutes.
Yeah. Right.
And that's okay. And according to like selling, I think it's gonna depend on the strategy for like world championship. For example, if you are an amateur and you just want to qualify, you don't really need to take care about the time. You're just gonna race your race, and maybe even instead of looking for fast courses, the same than in triathlon, you're gonna go to places where there is less people. Like in triathlon at the beginning, for myself, I was looking at going to Mexico. I mean, I was starting Mexico with a really bad race versus in Texas I was also like in second. But the truth is that you are gonna have much competitive people in the US than maybe in Puerto Rico or in Mexico or in Colombia. Usually in Europe, like triathlon, it's crazy. Like you do a podium in Europe, it's much harder. So I think that could be one reason, instead of like the time, if you're looking for qualification. Totally different is if you want to go to the lead 15, then 100%.
Yeah, the thing is that I think the lead 15 is leaning towards like more horses than courses, with the new changes that now instead of taking one, the best time takes the average of the 2 best times. I think next season they are gonna even change that. As Rich suggested, I think this is the right move for Hyrox, would be at least for the elite 15, instead of paying attention to the time, doing like regional qualifiers for the majors where anybody can sign in, and you just race, and the best of these qualifiers go to the majors. That's fine. That's totally fine. It's a face-to-face. It's a race. Time-wise, it's the same as any sport. If you go to a marathon, people will brag about their time in the marathon. We know that some marathons are faster than others.
California, it's
but-
done like obviously the times are faster.
Yeah, so but at the end it's part of the marketing strategy of the company. So it's part of the company breaking 1 hour. I broke 1 hour, and you are like, for someone who, for 90% of the people who are just way far from the 1 hour, breaking 1 hour is like crazy. And it doesn't matter if it's in Berlin or it's any other place. It's still a very fast time. So having the time there, it's good for the sport in terms of we can tell a story, or people can brag about this, or can post things, and it's something people will want to highlight. But from the professional perspective, I think we need to be more focused on races than times. So racing and competing. That's my thought. But I think they are moving in the right direction now.
What do you think about like how 70.3 kind of they were rotating from America or North America to Europe or the other locations, like maybe having some kind of a set, actually standardizing the course. I guess you could do that though. You don't have to have it at a specific venue. You could just have the exact same setup where the only thing would be altitude maybe or whatever. But then that way, at least once a year, those times can be compared year over year. I
mean, that could be possible. I think they are very limited in. I mean, they have the restrictions of the venue, so how big the place is and where the exit. It's not only the dimensions; it's also where's the emergency exit. So how they distribute the things. There's many other aspects that we don't know.
Yeah, right.
It makes things more complicated than we think.
Right.
So standardizing, I think, could be possible, but I think it's difficult. It's gonna be kind of difficult. And then we see a big difference in terms of how the sleds feel just
With
by
humidity.
changing the humidity. It's just the humidity what makes the difference. It's not how the sleds are faster or no. It's just how much water is in the carpet.
That's what I was saying.
And how the carpet is also matters more than the sled.
Yeah.
Okay. And the new equipment is fast. Well, if you put that equipment in a humid carpet, it's gonna be slow.
Yeah, well, definitely. That's definitely. I still look at it as racing, like Ironman racing, or like you said, marathons, half marathons, whatever. You show up and you race, and that's it. There's no. But I'm also not a professional athlete. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm not relying on it. So I could understand the frustrations of professional, the Hyrox pros that are spending a lot of money to travel.
Yeah.
I can understand that. But the thing that I don't want to see, that I saw with triathlon that kind of turned me off from racing triathlon, was age groupers kind of jumping on complaining about courses, complaining about people, or making excuses. And then people almost, they instead of leaving Chicago, like when I left, we went to Chicago because like I've told you guys, I was born outside of Chicago, but the venue was insane, like the atmosphere and everything else. So I want people, when they're listening to people talk about Hyrox and they've never done a Hyrox, it's like trying to explain the coffee taste. Like, you can't imagine what a Hyrox event is like until you do a Hyrox event and you feel that energy and you feel that crowd. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'll sit there in Anaheim. Well, I had to leave a little early, but I stayed till the pros went off. But the Anaheim and LA before, I stay there all day. I'm there from the doors open until the relays, racing the relays at the end. I love it. And
I totally agree. I think once you do the first one, it's like a different story. You feel the atmosphere, you feel the all the party that is around the races, and I totally agree. So the main different thing with compared to other sport is that people can support you from very close. So the spectators can move around, can be at any of the stations. It's very inclusive for the spectators. And I think this is a very positive thing that makes people just love it.
Yep. And I know you guys probably have to get going, but what are the plans? Obviously Chicago, right? You guys will be racing Chicago.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and yes, we're gonna both be racing Chicago.
We are
Pro
in,
division.
So we're in some immigration process.
Right.
So we,
Yeah, so it's complicated.
we are from Spain, living in the US. So we are trying to figure out if he's gonna be able to leave the country. With it looks like maybe no. We will see. We will see how it is. So
once the major calendar was released, I cannot leave the US. It is what it is.
Right.
We are in the process of getting the permanent residency. While the case is pending, I'm not allowed to leave. I can leave.
I cannot come back.
I'm not allowed. I cannot come back.
Yeah.
So while the case is pending, I cannot travel abroad. So I will probably miss. And the problem is not just it's not the fact that I cannot leave. It's the uncertainty of I don't know when I can travel. And the lawyers told us that it could be any time between 5 to 11 months. It was like, okay. So when you are I'm not a professional athlete, but when you're racing at the elite level, you are one of the 7 people in the world who have their spots because of their performance last year, and you have the privilege of choosing when to race. And I didn't have this privilege. It's like a little bit frustrating, but at the same time, I understand this is a long-term decision for us as a family, for us as a business-wise. So we'll wait until the green card. I will miss probably very likely the first 2 majors. And I will go to Las Vegas, sure. Of course, because it's in the US, so that's totally fine. And afterwards, I don't know if I have the green card. If I have the travel permit, I can go. If not, I can't.
What about Dallas or Anaheim this year?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we are going to Dallas.
We are going to Dallas. He's racing with Rich, so maybe they are winning $5,000.
No, Dallas is not where Hunter is gonna be.
But he said that no matter who beats. No?
Well, I don't think so.
Okay, well, it doesn't.
Anyway, so Hunter was encouraging us to race against him and Sandy. And initially it was going to be Chicago, so we accepted the challenge. But it seems like he cannot race in Chicago, so he will move it to Anaheim. I won't be in Anaheim because we are in Hawaii that date.
Oh.
So I cannot be in Anaheim. Finally I am doing men's pro in Chicago and doubles pro in Dallas with Rich.
Okay, cool.
And she's doing.
And I'm doing my first pro in Chicago finally, and I'm doing double pro woman with a friend here that she trains in Chicago with me, also in Dallas.
Nice, very cool. And then Vegas for sure. Vegas, you guys are
100%.
And exactly.
Yeah, that's my best shot in terms of the majors.
Awesome.
And probably my only shot. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you. I'll be in Dallas, and then I'll be in Vegas for sure as well, and then I'll be in Anaheim too. But you guys will not be in Anaheim. And then
are you gonna be in Dallas?
Yeah.
Are you racing or just?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm racing. Yeah. Okay.
Which division?
Just men's. Oh, what is it if it's not pro? Is it just open?
Men's open.
Yeah, open. I'll do
okay,
open.
Sweet. So we'll drink a coffee there.
Yeah, I'll bring some. I'll try to have something. I'm trying to figure out travel with that. And but Anaheim, I'll have tons of stuff. In Vegas, I'll bring some stuff too. But well, cool. I just wanted that was great. I really wanted to pick your brain about triathlon, so I'm glad I got to hear that. Triathlon and coffee and Hyrox. It's been really cool watching you guys and watching how much fun you seem to have and how much you enjoy these things. So coming, I guess it was just this last year getting to see you guys and getting to know you through social media and just watching different things whenever I could catch you on interviews. But I appreciate what you guys are doing. It's fun. And my family, like I've told the other athletes that I've had the opportunity to get to know, like my kids know the name Pelayo, so we're watching.
That's amazing.
So cute.
That's amazing.
So it's fun. And then watching, and they know James, and then Hunter, I bring this up, but Hunter has always been super cool to my daughter every time that he sees her at a race. So they have these people that they're familiar with, and all the women also. So it's cool for me to have the opportunity to talk to you guys because my kids get to see you on TV. They get to see how you're carrying yourself there. And so to have
how old they are?
10 and 12. I have 10 and 12, and then I have a 24-year-old. And so they look just like Ninja Warrior when they see these people. They look, if you're on TV at that age, if you're on TV, you're a celebrity, right? So I guess the biggest thing is just keep for me, keep the positive energy, keep these things going, keep smashing like you are. And I guess that's it. I don't need to say any more. So
I think we should, by approaching the sport in the same way that we used to do in triathlon, which is, this is a hobby. This is something we share. This is a passion we share with other people. I think it's very easy to contact and be close to anybody. It doesn't matter. You're in the elite, you are not in the elite. That's fine. We are all sharing the same thing. So we are we don't make a living. Personally, I don't make a living with this. So it's like I feel the same as you feel. I feel the same as anybody else. So I think it's good to make this clear. And celebrities, we're not celebrities.
No, right. But I guess as the sport grows and the youth are watching this, Hyrox is, because I've always, with triathlon, I loved it. I had the goals to get through these races, do Ironman and all this. But I've also I used to race triathlon at like 210, 215 pounds. So I was always a bigger guy. So I could get out and I could smash on the bike and I could be ahead of everybody. But then the little guys would just go cruising right by me. So the thing that I'm really excited about with Hyrox is kind of finding this middle ground of strength, speed, bulk, finding that mix, different body types.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of something for everyone in there. And like you said, it's just fun. It's fun. And I'm looking forward to the future. I'm really, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you guys do and just, get to know everybody even more. So we'll keep, we're definitely going to keep in touch, and
yes.
I'll get you some of these coffees, and I'm going to check in on Hawaii. And
thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
It was great, Ryan. So it was we're happy to meet people like you, passionate for not only Hyrox and everything you do. So it's great. And you are very involved in the community, as Rich says always in the podcast. I think this is something that is very important. So for us, it's very valuable that you bring the passion you have for the coffee to the sport, and the sport for the coffee. So it's like we understand that.
Awesome.
So it's great.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I always say I'm not gonna keep you guys very long, and then we end up talking for an hour. So.
No, but I have a meeting.
Yeah, we have a meeting.
Go make it happen, and thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And
thank you.
Thank you,
Ryan. More coffee out. We'll keep it going.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
You
have a
great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.